It's obviously a lot to be happy about, but what sort of most pleased you out of today?
Oh, I just think our consistency right through the whole game. I mean, we haven't been able to, for probably in my time, put together a really pretty strong 4 quarters of football, and the boys were able to do that today, and work their way into a really strong position. But then they just kept going, which was real pleasing.
Tackling seemed to be a feature.
Yeah, I thought our defensive pressure all over the ground was pretty pleasing, and we wanted to really come after them as much as we possibly could, and we were able to do that.
So how much easier was it for you now that you're in one system, that you can work through it through the week as a magpie or a power player?
Yeah, it's
to the AFL.
It's been a lot easier with all the boys being able to do the same structure, and all the boys being able to, like some of the Magpies boys come and train with us, so they learn our structures as well. So yeah, it's been really good that everyone under one system now.
Is that a bit of the proof of the pudding then, Ken, that system's right for you?
Is Sam proof? Sam's proof of himself, I reckon, more than anything. I mean, you watch him through last year, and you just knew he could play high-level football. And he was, as I've said before, this game he was at his best at that level. He was very good. So he needed the next step up to see what it was like, and I think he showed today that he's got a bit of AFL football in front of him.
And the bigger picture about keeping them all together.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. We as a club are one club, and we're really proud of that now. And everyone plays for Port Adelaide, and tomorrow we go and watch Port Adelaide play again, and hopefully to get another big result at the SANFL level. We expect to win, and that's really important for us. But the pleasing thing is you'll hopefully see similar styles of football being played, and that makes a big difference from our point of view at developing players at both levels.
So what did you learn about your group in a week when they had to respond to a loss?
Oh no, as I said, last week's game was a pretty good game of footy, I reckon, and I said that before leading into this game, that both sides it was a pretty solid game of football. Watching it back, and you think, well, if we're going to lose sometimes, and we know we're going to lose sometimes by 7 points against a quality opponent, but then to respond to that in a short turnaround, short break, and to come back out today and play that ruthless style that we want to play was really pleasing.
So Ken, what do you learn when you win by nearly 20 goals?
Oh, look, I suppose from my point of view, as I said, I love the ruthlessness about keeping on going, and the preparedness to keep working. I think Schultz's tackle early in the last quarter, I reckon, was a bit of a highlight. He just, we had a pretty comfortable lead, and the willingness of the players and the full forward particularly to want to work and tackle and smack in and make sure we kept going was really pleasing for me.
Is it a true test?
When
you win by so much, is such a game a true test?
Oh no! Look, sometimes it can get away, and the game got away a little bit from the Lions, and I'm sure Leopard would acknowledge that. But the pressure we're able to put on probably put us in that position. And again, from our point of view, we controlled what we could from there on, and I thought we were pretty clinical.
Is that something you're quite strong to continue to keep going, rather than you could rest players, you could take your foot off it a little bit?
Yeah, not in game day. That's not something we want to do. I mean, clearly, I've said it all the time that we're still on the journey of what we're trying to achieve and where we're trying to go, and we know that parts of the journey are going to cause some ups and downs that we don't like, and some ups that we do like. And when you get chances to learn little things along the way, you've got to take them. And today was another opportunity to learn some stuff.
About this 4-quarter consistency, was this the best performance you've seen from the side since you've taken over?
I think it was a comprehensive, brutal performance, probably, and we know. Look, the Lions had a young side out there. There's no doubt about that. So we were able to make the most of our opportunities, and as I said, then turn it into something that we wanted to play.
Getting back to the foot of the throat, was there any consideration, given you've got a big road game next week going to West Coast, was there any consideration of trying to ease back a little bit and give blokes a little bit of a rest towards the end of the game?
You just can't. That's what happens in AFL. Not that we'd want to, but you just can't. You just don't do that out there. I mean, it's the game. Sam's probably the one to answer it. The pressure just stays at you, and if you give up and you drop off a little bit, you either, one, you get hurt, two, you put in a poor performance, and then three, you end up not doing the stuff that you want to do, and it puts yourself at jeopardy.
Ken, when you start going without Humphreys or Wingard, and we're looking to see where you're going to get the goals, is that spread of goal kickers about you, or is it about also Brisbane, where they're at?
Oh no, I think it's about what we're trying to. Realistically, what you'd like to be able to say is it doesn't matter who comes into your side, when they come into your side, regardless of who you play, there's a certain way you want to play, and the end result hopefully is what you want. Today we got the end result that we wanted, but I think important for us is that we have a certain style that you have to play, and if you do that, hopefully you get the results that you want, personnel aside. But you can never say that totally, I reckon, because some personnel are pretty special players, and you know they can do some special things.
We could have asked whether they're going to be the second year Blues with Port. What's added on 12 months on?
To not have...
Does that base you set up last year?
It's,
What's added on?
it's a group of players. It's just willingness to work. You know, they're prepared to do whatever it takes. They're prepared to work really hard for each other, and you know, they get there and they do everything that we ask them to do and more. And they're demanding of each other. They're demanding of performance. They want to keep improving, and they know they've still got a lot of work to do. And if they keep doing that work, that eventually they'll end up getting some results that they're really happy with.
Sam, how was the experience for you? Was it what you imagined?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous when Kenny come and told me during the week that I was going to be playing. So this last 2 days went pretty long, but once I got out there, all the boys just got around me and just said enjoy it and just do what you've been doing in the SNFL, and which is just the little things that Ken's been telling me to do. So pressure, tackling, and keeping the ball inside 50. So yeah, I loved it.
Sam, did you bring half the crowd from Ed Mitchell?
A fair few of them come over, yeah. There's not many on Cleve in Cleve.
What's the biggest crowd you played in front of before this?
Probably against Norwood, so 8,000.
And the moment, how did it feel?
Unreal. Yeah, loved it. Really enjoyed it.
You're sort of guy, Sam, that you've been trying for this your whole life? I mean, or have you just enjoyed playing footy and AFL's just come along?
No, I've loved my footy ever since I was probably 6 or 7, and this has always been my dream. And over the last 4 years, I've been sort of knocked back a bit, but kept working and knew what I had to do, and I've done that now. So I'm really enjoying being at the Power.
What does it say, Ken, about the type of players that, like Sam, gets knocked back, but you know he's a natural footballer. He just looks so composed and calm out there on the big stage. So.
Yeah, I think it says it, you know, a lot. Look, I was lucky enough to be at the Gold Coast when Zorko was running around at Broadbeach, and I was watching a bit of that and watching him play, and thought, gee, this bloke can play a bit at that level. And last year the same. I'm watching Sam Gray play week in, week out, and I'm going, why can't he? You know, is he little? Does that stop him? No, I don't think so, because he's got a big ticker. He wants to work pretty hard. So when you see those blokes get their chance, I'm like everyone else. I get really excited for them. I get really proud of the fact that they've had to work so hard and they're prepared to do that. And, you know, I've said it last year, footy does it. You get a chance and you get what you deserve. And if you work hard and you keep to working hard and you do the right things, you get your reward. And he's got his reward.
Is he bucking the trend that sometimes teams don't want to look at smaller players?
Oh, no, I don't. Well, if you look at our side, I suppose we've got Impey in the side today, and we've got Sam in the side today. We've got a number of smaller players. You don't go looking for them all, but you don't go denying talent, and I think that's important for us. We go and look, and our recruiters, Jeff Parker and his team, they go looking for the best players, and then we try and fit a need that we want.
What's the next match going to bring out again?
Great test. I think we've got West Coast next week, a travelling game, and then might be the Cats, yeah.
And GWS in all that sort of mould. There's some big challenges.
Yeah, we'll go to West Coast next week, and we'll go to work this week and see how hard we have to work and give an account of ourselves that we'll be proud of, and then we'll worry about the next week after that. You know, it's a trap. It's clearly a trap when you start to look ahead, and we don't want to do that. We just want to turn up and work hard and give our absolute best against West Coast, because we know they're a quality side.
Are you starting to get a feel for this ground? Does it starting to feel like home?
Oh, it does when you got the great Port Adelaide fans here. I mean, gee, 36,000 today. What a great crowd, and you know, for all our fans to turn up here, we love them coming, and the more they bring, I'm telling them, the boys love it. The boys absolutely grow a leg on their way that they cheer and cry out for them and want them to do everything they can, and it just lifts them. We've been enormous. We've got 50,000 plus. We know we've talked about that a bit, but I can't say enough about our fans and thank them enough. And we want them to keep turning up every week. And when we come to Adelaide Oval, Travis just come through and said, how great is it playing here? You know, and that's what you know. And he knows it's great because his fans are there, people are there, and they're playing great football here, and it's an exciting place.
You've got a handle on the ground in terms of what its nuance is,
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Not yet. I mean, we've had 2 games here. We've played some good footy here. I think it's a fast ground. It looks like a pretty fast ground for football, which we enjoy, we like. But you know, to figure it totally out yet, I'm not sure we have done that. And we probably, and I said earlier, we probably won't do it. Every side will be pretty similar coming in this year. We've had a couple of games here now, so hopefully by the end of the year we're starting to feel like, you know, we've got some idea of some of the little tricks.
Ken, what did you think about Matt White's game?
Really impressive. Obviously, I think he kicked 3-2 and, you know, had fair share of the ball. But I like his contest. I like his hardness at the contest, and I think Matt's improved in that area even in the short time he's been here with us. And, you know, he's in good shape. He's working really hard. He wants to be a part of the team. He knows that. And, you know, he came here looking for probably more opportunity to play, and, you know, he's certainly grabbing hold of that at the moment off the back of the showdown as a sub, then full game last week, you know, and another full game this week. I thought he's been pretty strong for us.
Having been the guy that gave him that opportunity, how does it make you feel when he kicks a goal and he's thumping his chest and just looks like he's just loving his footy here.
Oh, I just want him to obviously enjoy being at Port Adelaide, and and the reason he chose to come to Port Adelaide, I want him to think that was a great decision. And there's a really tight group, this group of players. There's no doubt about that. Dom and Kane talk about that quite regularly, and they're our most experienced. They understand that they're a really tight group, and Matty's fitted in well, Jared's fitted in well, Sam's come on and fitted in well, and we've got all our young first-year players as well. So they're an embracing group. There's no doubt that they all expect each other to work pretty hard, and if you do that, you fit in.
Can you give any advice to Polly on how to handle the week and how to handle the day?
No, just play. Do what you've been doing. I thought he was pretty strong. I thought Jared was pretty strong today. I thought, he showed in the first quarter that there was a little bit of nerves about what he was trying to do, but gee, the longer the game went, I just felt he was. Look, we're really pleased that he's playing for our footy club, and there's always a bit of pressure when you play against your old side. Some really simple reasons for him not to be at Brisbane. He wanted to be home.
The interesting thing about the way you go about your business, that argument about should you have one or two ruckmen, is a performance like that, particularly with Trengo today, reinforcing that the one ruckman and the pinch hitters is the best way to go?
Yeah, well, for us it is. It's hard to know what you've got now. Our personnel, and I always say, coach to your list. Well, our list says that at the moment that's our best method, and we're happy to stick with that. And we've got some good people underneath. We've got Renouf underneath, who's been pretty solid too. So, but our method at the moment says that that's the way we like it to be. And next week we go to Perth though, and we have Nat and Nui and Cox, and one or two others in their tall grade. So we might have to look at it from there.
So why does it work? Because you're taking a key player either from defence or from forward, and someone's then got to cover. So why is it working for you?
The opposition have to take one away too, though, when they change their ruck. So that's we've probably gone a little bit old school, I reckon. We've gone back to the back pocket playing in the ruck a little bit, which is typical of what happened in football a long, long time ago. So it does turn the wheel, doesn't it? But it ends up nearly back on top of itself.
Thanks for reminding me.
Then, with your very young players, do you think they learn faster by having one game and going away and thinking about it, or having a block of games?
I think your preference would always be to give them more than one if you can. Sometimes that's taken out of your control because of personnel maybe coming back and and things like that go on. But I think your method would always be to give them 1 or 2, 3 games of football, at least give them a feel for it. If they play well enough and they can stay in for the rest of the year, good luck to them, I think. I don't go looking for a reason to put them out. I go looking for the reasons to keep them in.
So Sam gets a second?
I'd be very, very, very hard coach, wouldn't I, if Sam didn't get a second, I reckon. But, nothing's taken for granted. I'm sure Sam will be pretty keen to hear what the side is on Wednesday when we pick it. I won't guarantee that he's playing today, but he's done enough in my mind that says, well, he's going to get a fair bit of consideration. I didn't.
So Chad has to work his way back in?
Yeah, Chad has to get fit first. I think he'll find a way in if he gets fit, but there's not too many things to worry about with Chad. If he's fit and available, I think we'd be pretty keen for him to play.
Do you know how many times you've been knocked back, Sam, by AFL clubs?
I was just, since I was 18, just been told to go back and work on a few things, so I've been doing that, and it's obviously worked out a bit, so yeah, I'm just really enjoying being here. And Kenny, last year I trained with the parents, told me to go back and work on my fitness and push them back hard, so I've done that, and so it's paid off a bit, I guess, yeah.
And how's the elbow?
Yeah, fine.
That's all right.
Yep.
Any other injuries or anything like that?
No, all good. We took Homsey off just precaution because we had an extra tall, so there was no problems with him at all, so we've got through the game at this stage clean.
Sam, a few nerves, as you said, leading up to the week. That's only natural. You got a couple of touches early on, kicked a goal early as well, started on the ground. How important was all that to settle the nerves and sort of feel part of it?
Yeah, the boys just said to me during the week, just once you get your hands on it, just do what you've been doing, and I did that, and I guess the nerves were still there, but it's just easy to get, once you got that touch, you sort of get the feel of the game and what the boys are trying to do, so yeah, it's a lot easier when you get a first touch quite early, so yeah, it was nice.
3 goals, 100-point win. How easy is AFL?
I'm not sure it's that easy. We all had to work hard today, so yeah.
You managed to get the ball to Mum as well, fought through the crowd and pass that on.
Yeah, she was waving pretty hard, so she wanted it.
Fantastic.
And the Roberts run.
Easy.